Welcome to Unapologetically The Difference, the podcast that delves into stories of resilience, transformation, and the human spirit. I'm Toy.
And I'm Chelsea.
And today we have a guest with us that we're so honored to have. He's a Philadelphia native. He is a man of resilience. He is very much somebody that I'm so proud to be sitting next to right now. Dante Haley.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you. In 1997, Dante and his sister Sharnae Wise was confined to their basement, a tragic situation that led to Sharnae's untimely death. Their mother was subsequently convicted and is now up for parole. Dante has bravely chosen to have to share his story, his journey of survival, loss, and healing. His story sheds light on the complexes of trauma, the path to recovery. Dante, thank you so much for joining us, and you're willing to share your story with us, which is a very powerful story. So yes. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So
the first thing I want to say to you is that, your story, I can remember when it first came out. Mm-hmm. I remember, back when it happened. All right, so it was in 97. Devin was born in 98. Mm-hmm. So that was 28 years
27.
ago. 27. No, Devin was born
27. Yeah, they 27 this year. Damien just turned 27.
98, though, they was born.
They 27, right? Yeah.
Well, so 97 is a year before that. So that's 28 years, right?
Then my son just turned 27 or 28.
He turned 27.
Yeah, as I said, 27 years.
The argument is that it's a year before they was born.
Oh, okay.
Crazy. You know what? This is what happens on our show. We just being real. We just being real. Because this is how it is. This is how it is with us.
Listen, no cuss, no edits.
What's going on? This ain't even gonna be edited. She's in there 27. No, I know that.
Public school education for sure. Philadelphia public school education.
This was a year before our kids was born, and she 27.
Yeah,
I'm
you're right.
So 28. She 27. They just turned 27. Did they
27? It's 27. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You know what? One thing we do is have fun over here. So
act the damn fool.
Don't pay us no mind. We crazy as hell. No, but seriously though, so that was 28 years ago. 28 years is wild. To have endured. Oh my God. And the fact that now your mom is up for parole and I'm sure all these emotions and things are coming out right now. How are you feeling? How are you actually feeling right now?
As far as what? As far as that, or just in life?
As far as that for first. Let's see how you feeling about that first.
It's probably a little emotional because I just want to know. I have so many questions to ask her, why, or why you do this, why you do that. So it's just a lot of what's the word I'm looking for?
Mixed emotions.
Mixed emotions, but it's been built up because I didn't try to reach out to her so many times. So we're all right, maybe this time I can talk to her and really get some answers from her.
Okay. So. Tell us a little bit about your story and what brought you to us today.
Well, the reason why I put my story out now was because I seen an incident that happened on the news about the mom leaving the kids in the house with the pamper soiled and house dirty and stuff like that. So it hit me dang, stuff like that is still going on to this day.
It triggers
on top of knowing that my mom was eligible for parole. So it's kids that still going through the same thing. They need help, or not even the kids. Their parents need help to know, they just need help.
The help, yeah.
The fact that when you sat there and told me that was your reasoning, and how that is so full circle, because that situation
affected you directly.
That's those crazy. Children are in pretty much my care at this moment because of that situation. The mom that did it is a family member to some degree, and when you said it, my eyes just went up. What? It's like divine intervention sometimes when things happen.
Divine timing. That happened a lot on this show.
when I never knew what you was gonna say when you was like, "Oh, I seen it on the news." The mom that did, and I'm sitting here like, "What the? You got to be kidding me!"
Yeah.
That situation that I'm actually dealing with is what brought you to us to right now,
and you didn't even know about it. That's the crazy part about it.
No,
you didn't know nothing about that situation. So,
wow, that situation in itself is crazy that we're actually dealing with that. But like when I can recall your story with your sister, it's like one of those things. Like, how does that happen? How do you leave your children in the like? Do you know your full story? Like, do you? Because like earlier you was telling me about your other siblings and that you had. I thought you and your sister was the youngest, but you have 2 younger siblings than them.
Correct.
It was just you and Sharnae that was in the basement, or
yeah, it was just me and Sharnae in the basement. I had older siblings, so they were older. I had an older brother. He was already running around doing what he was doing. Older sister, she had her son at 16, 17, so she was already doing what she was doing. Then the 2 oldest, they were teenagers, probably not teens, but probably pre-teens. And then me and Sharnae just in the basement. Then my 2 youngest, like, so for them it was like, they can't really tell y'all a story. They can't.
Where were they? They were you. So
y'all there? Like they was in the house.
Okay, but it was just you. So and Sharnae locked in the basement.
So y'all all was kind of separated. Do you remember life before the basement?
No, I just remember one time. I don't know if it was holiday or I don't know what it was, but I just remember her bringing us back home, and it was gifts in the house. It was snowing outside. And it was gifts, and I was riding a bike. And that's the last time. And I'm writing a book also, and in it I'm like. It was like waking up in a nightmare and just living a nightmare. After that moment, it was just like downhill.
Mm-hmm. So, how old were you and Sharnae during the time when you were locked in the basement?
I was around 6 or 7. She was 4 or 5.
And can you remember like the duration that y'all were down there?
No, I don't remember how long. Like it could have been a couple of days here. A month here. Like, I don't know how long the extent of we were actually in the basement, but
because you couldn't tell the time and day and night.
Like we didn't know the time.
Did y'all go to school? Like, how was life because you said you don't really remember life before the basement. So do you know if you remember if you went to elementary school, if you did stuff like that, and then
school one time we were going to school. I stole some coins at the coin jug that was on the teacher desk, because I think around that time we was allowed to put money in the coin desk to go on trips and stuff like that. And I stole it out, and they must have called my mom, and my mom met me in the middle of the block with my mom all the way to the house.
And that was the only time you can remember going to school?
Yep.
What grade was that?
I can't remember. I can't even tell you.
It's okay.
But I just know that I did get it. By the time my life became my life, I got held back, and
Wow. Do you recall like if DHS or anything like that was involved with y'all? Like when y'all was younger, you don't even know anything about like services being in place or anything to that degree. You just knew that. So tell us about being in the basement.
Tell us your story and
what you do remember, like.
Trying to think. So we want to start that because we don't really.
I'm sure it's not all.
So the basement. So me and Sharnae was in the basement, and I remember just like the evening before she passed away. It was sunny outside. I remember hearing the ice cream truck. I remember just remember hearing kids playing. I'm saying, like I said, you are from Philly, so in the basements in Philly, the windows is
right there. Yeah. You can kind of see out
but you really can't see because the glass is like
the cinder block, the cinder block glasses. Yeah,
right, so you can't see. So all I'm seeing, all I'm hearing is kids, and I'm seeing the orange. I'm saying we clean the basement up. Just made our own little playpen. We talking, laughing.
So y'all weren't like locked down. Y'all just was
locked. No, we locked them out. Like we talking about the door
with the freezer, right?
Deep freezer lock was holding the door.
Okay, but y'all didn't have like chains or things like that.
No, he wasn't locked in the basement, like to the door, or to the floor, or to the.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. No. But y'all was locked to the point where y'all couldn't push the door. Right. Okay. And nobody. So you don't really know because you was down there and your other siblings. You don't recall them. So there was never anybody coming looking for y'all, checking on y'all.
Where was your dad?
Oh, mama did. I know my mom brother said that a couple of days before Shawnee passed away, he came because he moved to Antarctica or Hawaii. Mm-hmm. And before he moved, he came trying to get Shawnee. Mm-hmm. And my mom told her, like, no, she's okay. Like, But now as I'm thinking back about that time, like, what if that time could have been she's already, passed away. Right. And she's just telling him, like, no, she good. Like,
so nobody would know what was going on.
All right.
So you and Sharnae had the same father? Y'all shared the same father, or the rest of your siblings as well?
I believe we shared the same father, and then we probably couldn't have. But her birthday is too close to mine, so not too close. But she's in this not the same year because she turned 35 this year, September 1st. She turned 35 or 34 or something like that. So yeah, so
right.
So anyway, so morning time come, so nighttime we playing, talking, had to go out.
So y'all was happy? Like you said y'all was playing, it was just like that's all you could do was be.
For us, we think that's normal.
That's normal.
We never knew the opposite of. We never knew to know nothing else but
so y'all always was in the basement.
From what he remembers.
That you can recall.
That or being tied up. So boom, so the next day come around. So the next day come around. So morning time come. She's in my arms sleeping. The third step from the bottom step of the basement. I just hear like the basement door close. I wake up. I look. It's like I don't remember at that time I didn't know what it was. And so I ran upstairs, ran to what it was. It was an onion. I'm about to bite it. I call Shawnee. She doesn't answer. I think she's just sleeping. Like, all right, let me go down there and just tap her. Go down there. I push her. She falls over the last 3 steps. Just rolls over. And then somehow I just became like the little Incredible Hulk and just broke the door and pushed the deep freezer.
Oh, wow.
And told my mom, like, Mom, Shawnee, something wrong with Shawnee.
So she would literally just drop food at the top of the steps for y'all?
And lock the door back?
And be out.
In onion?
Onion, it could be onion, bananas.
How often?
I don't know. It could have been any other day.
Not having a clock and
I was a kid that used to eat paint chips off the wall. Like I used to clear a wall. I like to clear walls. So that probably could have been my substitute meal until I got a meal. But tell my mom, Shawnee.
So it wasn't that somebody found y'all. You God gave you the strength to let somebody know that your sister was. So all before that, y'all never tried to push the doors open or anything.
We gotta think about like, these kids different nowadays, right? But imagine you got a 5 or 7-year-old kid. You got a deep freezer. Tell him just to go push it regularly. Yeah. Just push it regularly. Let's go in there and push it. You're not going to be able to push that.
Yeah. Shit. I don't know. My grandson is.
But that's why I said.
No, but nowadays, you right. Because the stuff that he be doing, I be like, golly, like, what the hell? But no, you right.
My son
and
too.
maybe you're.
Back then it was different.
And sometimes when you're younger, you listened. So when they said don't do come out the room, you really probably didn't even just.
We was obedient for sure.
And on top of, these kids are eating every day.
Yeah.
I'm not eating every day, so I'm a malnourished person trying to open a door, and it's not.
And you were weak.
God gave you the strength that damn day. Look at God.
That day,
look at God. He said, not today.
That day, I pushed through that drawing to my mom.
Did you ever try to like escape or push through before, or you just felt like that's where you belong?
What he said. He didn't.
No, I never saw. I'm gonna get to that part. I get to that part. So boom. Yeah, you know. But before then, like, so we used to be tied up. So we used to be upstairs in the back room tied up. I got scars on my arms. You probably can't see, but there's still scars on my thighs, like, from the rope. Rope is that twine rope, that brown
The brown rope, the thread.
tied up like that. And I was,
That burns.
Yeah, they do burn.
like,
Bad.
that's why, and it cut you.
Yeah.
Yeah, cut.
So we used to be tied up. So, you know, there'd be times where I'm getting her out. I'm untying myself, untying her. We run around the crib eating bread, frozen jelly, frozen butter, mayonnaise, hot sauce.
So it was kind of like you and Charnay, and then other
Everybody
children. Everybody
else.
kind of was separated.
Or
Because you
wherever
really
it
can't
was at.
remember
Yeah.
that much, but you just know that you and Charnay was together.
Like, we was together
it
all
was
the
always
time.
sure now.
And then imagine I have to go back in the room. So imagine after I untie us, then I gotta take down pissy soil mattress. Right, go around the house. Then I gotta come back in the room, try to put it back up.
It was against the door.
Oh, so you
Against the
pretend
door.
like you wasn't
Yeah,
out.
like he wasn't
So
out.
now you
I
have
gotta
to
tie her
reset
back
the.
up. I can't tie her back up.
Wow.
Then I can't tie myself back up.
Yeah. So you always got caught
Every time.
and got in trouble.
Every time.
Wow.
Every time. Okay.
You got traumas? What's your triggers?
What's some of your triggers from your experience, unfortunately?
Do you feel like you have any? Like,
I mean, yeah, like
like
that's the question,
nightmares?
I don't think, like, I don't.
Do you recall?
Like, I just got over going into basements just because moving,
that's some of your
moving,
trauma
doing
in
moving
the
jobs.
basement?
Like, my man, he was the other day. He was like, "Oh, bro, like, remember when I was bidding with you?" And I was like, he said something about the basement. And I'm like, "No, bro, I don't even mess with them drones like that." And then later on, my story came out. He said, "Yo, bro, he called like I apologize, like, yo, bro, like, and that's my man for years. Like, bro, I apologize. Like, I ain't never know you went through that. Like, I said, bro, you cool. So like, basically was like probably a big thing, like just getting over, going downstairs and just. I told somebody this the other day. I had my son with me last weekend doing laundry in the basement, right? I go down there, put the clothes in the dryer. My son is telling me. So my mom like, yo, what if I just leave my son in the basement and just close the door and just put something in there and just leave? Just go to my homie crib, go to my girl crib, or just what if I just do that? But you know, I know I'm gonna hear my son screaming. I know I'm gonna hear him say, "Daddy!" Like I know I'm gonna hear it. Like when I come home, I'm gonna hear it. Like how can somebody just leave? Like
the opportunity to see from the other
Yeah.
like
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
It's like
how
how can somebody really,
do that?
how can somebody really just do that to their kid? Like and I would know like my son is. He like my belt loop.
Right.
He not going. I can't go nowhere without him. Stay upstairs, son. He going, Daddy, why you following me? I just wanted to be with you. So I know for a fact, like if I
be tripping.
go through it, I'm saying he probably break the door there himself. You know what I'm saying? So just like, how can a human being or a parent just do that?
Do that to their child.
Like,
Do you think it?
She was arrested right after
She was arrested like 98, yeah.
the court proceedings.
I remember going to the court. I remember being on the stand. I remember being like.
So you had to testify in court against your mom?
So after boom, so after she Charnay passed away, my mom ended up breaking the basement. Like my two older sisters, they were going somewhere. Don't remember, don't know. They were going somewhere. She told them, "Don't tell them what happened this weekend." She tells me, take this black bag, put her body in the black bag, and drag her body to the back of the basement and throw it under the water heater. Wow. So, as a kid, I don't know if I was crying. I can't. That's what I really don't know. Like, I wish I knew, like, but just
How
like,
you felt
forgot
going
about
to
it,
do
yeah.
that.
but that's like
Trauma you forgot
dragging her body.
And she made you do it.
What was the cause of death for your little sister?
Starvation.
Wow.
Died right in my arms. So just like in her sleep. So just like dang, like then I come back up. She give me a bath. She wash me up. She feed me.
So she treated you good
after your sister passed away.
And people from
not good. She just was trying to
be a mom.
She tried to fix something real quick. She thought after what happened, like, oh, let me put some food in their stomach. Because they're gonna know after they.
Or not that she tried to do, because she did that and then she told me like, but not tell. Like not
don't tell nobody.
Like, can't tell nobody.
Don't tell nobody what happened. Like I love you, saying third, and I mean that happened.
Did she tell you?
Do you think your mom loves you?
I didn't know what love was at the time.
Do you think your mom love you now?
No, not because that's not love.
Do you love your mom?
For bringing me to the world, that's about it.
So, I heard on like one of your, listening to some of your TikTok stories, your mom had a substance abuse issue with crack cocaine.
Yeah, so later on in life, I was able to forgive my mom.
That's big.
Because I was in the streets. I sold drugs, so I was able to know like what this drug was able to do. Like I had people go inside malls and steal clothes from me. People go clean my whole crib.
And that's people that's on drugs, the same.
People that's on drugs. I had people come and clean. Bro, I need to come fix my man car, his car, and come
they
clean
would do anything
for $20.
Right, or just for this dime, whatever. So it's like
you see the
so I kind of get
and
to understand like, all right, maybe that's part reason, but now we need to know the reason before we got on drugs.
Right.
How were you growing up? How was your parents with you? How was your mom with you? What were you going through? How was it the baby father that put you like what was going? What made you turn to the drugs and made you do what you did just to us two? Yes.
Right.
As siblings, we were all abused, but just us two.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like.
Were y'all physically abused as well? Like, did y'all get beatings and things like that too?
Mm-hmm.
Your other siblings besides you and Charnay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all got abused.
But the abuse for you and Charnay was a different level.
Reason? You don't like? Did you do something bad, or it just was like?
For us, it was like the story.
Didn't pick up the shoes fast enough. Anything?
Right. The story for us was anybody that know me know like I bid all day. I'm happy. I play around all day. Mm-hmm. And my sister, 5, needed attention. Was crying all the time, so she couldn't concentrate on getting high.
You was her nurturer. You was Charnay nurturer.
So your mom couldn't concentrate on getting high, so she would be upset.
Took it out on her.
So that's what she would do.
She would put us in the basement.
Do you feel guilty of anything yourself? Like, do you feel guilty of your sister? Like, do you feel a certain way that something happened because you know how we feel like I could have did this, or I could have.
I mean, as a kid, you know, like you don't know what you could have did, like because we don't know. Like when I say this, like I don't know. We didn't know anything else. Like we thought that was normal. So I didn't know what love was. We didn't know what happiness was. We didn't know what being sad was. We didn't know. We didn't know. We have
that
kids,
was normal to y'all.
We teach our kids how to love. We teach our kids like they learn how to play and talk and cry and be mad at you. Like I wasn't never gave the chance to be like that, to be a kid, to be mad or be upset or. Well, I love my mom. Or I hated being here. I want to go home. I want to go to my aunt's house. Like I never knew what that was. You feel me? So.
Yeah.
Do you remember when, like, the cops came when it was out and y'all was removed from the home? Like,
so I think my older sister, came into the house and smelled the deceased or the decay of the body and called the cops.
How old was your sister?
She probably was. How old was she? She probably was like 17.
And she wasn't living there at the time?
No, at least not that I know of.
How long was your sister's body in there?
I always say I don't know however long it takes for a body to decay. However it takes for them to only know that it was a female through the teeth, that's how long it took.
Wow.
That's wow.
However long it took for that, it was like, yeah.
So at the
that can take months to some degree, depending on the temperature. Like it depends on the time of the year. That could take months.
Because heat rises, so being in the basement, it was probably cooler, so she was preserved a little longer.
So you were saying you was down there with your sister
when she was
for the days.
And
she passed away.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
that's when she took you back out.
Mom brought me up, washed me.
Normalcy at that point.
Normalcy, like basically, like.
So you never had to go back in the basement after that?
I remember just laying with her in the living room on the floor, like every night. She just holding me, just telling me she loved me. She just don't tell nobody. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get through this.
And you wasn't leaving the house like daily to tell anyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So life after the basement when you went into foster care.
Wait. So your question. So boom. So sister called. The cops came. I just remember just being me and my siblings being put in the back of the cop car. You ever see a movie when the cop car driving
In the
off?
window, y'all looking out the window.
Like the back window? Yep. That's how he was. Exactly how he
And
was.
how many
Then,
siblings was in there at that time?
I want to say it was probably 5 of us was in there.
Out of 7.
Yeah, the 5 of us was in there, right? Me, right? And then I feel like I always picture this moment. You know where Germantown High School is? Mm-hmm. That corner right there, like the old. Well, now it's Career Link. I always feel like we went right there. Like they dropped us off. I feel like that was like a DHS spot because that's that ramp or something. I just remember that.
Remember that ramp?
It's just that ramp. I just remember that ramp going up there, going inside there, sitting down. Now, I don't know if that was a building, but just going there, sitting down, and just sitting there and we just got all separated somehow, some way. Then it's a blur. Then I go to one adoptive.
So y'all was in foster care for a while before you got adopted. Like it took a while.
Probably, yeah. Then once my mom and dad now when they came and got us, we was there with them probably like a year, maybe a couple months to a year until we got adopted. Yeah.
Were you able to attend your sister's funeral?
I went, but I wasn't able to
stay in there.
No, I think they had to pull me out of there.
Do you remember it now?
Yeah, no, I remember going in there and crying up. I couldn't sit down. I couldn't even be in the sanctuary. Like,
have you talked to your mom?
Nope, haven't talked to her since.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So you grew up in the foster care system. Your parents adopted you. Like, do you feel like you was a troubled child because of the trauma you've been through, or did like, you know, you said that you grew up with good parents and they treated you well. You was abused. You know, you had a good life. Like, what happened in your life from that point into like, you know, you became a young adult or whatever?
You know, I was the oldest, so you know, any teenager, you start smelling yourself. You start, you know, you in high school, you chicks. But, you know, with me, like, I was more strict because my dad was a principal in Philadelphia. We in the county, so he's not trying to have his name being messed up and he run around in Philadelphia being whatever, you know, a good man and being a principal. So, yeah, it was definitely like, you know, smelling myself, then us being shielded from different things. Then, you know, I'm being around my homies, chicks, girls. I'm like, hold up, this what is going on out in this world? Then, you know, just.
Do you, like I remember Feast asked you, like, if you have traumas, like, do you feel like you went through things in life, like you suffered, like you struggled with things, like just cry for no reason? Like, well, not just no reason, but just like have certain traumas and things that
happen in the past.
In the beginning, after I got adopted, I did, yeah. I should like
nightmares and things like that.
Start crying in the middle of school, just, just going.
Did you get therapy?
As a kid, yes. Not now.
Did it help you?
I don't know. You know, I'm a kid in the day. You know, as a kid.
Oh, yeah, as a child,
I'm coming from a dramatic situation to getting adopted, and they trying to get us into a regular life. They trying to make sure we got different things in order. Right. So, you know, it's probably never really a sit down like, did it help you? It probably just like, no, they need therapy.
They just did it because it was necessary.
Mm-hmm.
So you have as an adult therapy?
Yeah, as an adult, do you feel like? Because I see now that you're trying to put your story out there, so that's therapeutic in itself.
That's why I said, like,
you want your story out there, that you doing everything to let it be known that you keeping your sister's name alive. Like, I see that you was just at the mural not too long ago and they did a story and everything, and that's great that they remember her. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so unfortunate that nowadays parents
so often so much.
I mean, people that choose to, and I do believe that substance abuse is a disease. It's a disease. It's a sickness. It's not, you can be mad and think that they can just, you can just stop, but you really can't. Like, you really need help. It's a serious disease, and it's bad. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? With mental illness, like,
bro, when you mix them two together,
it's even worse.
That's how people might think they need that because
to help them with the mental illness is a painkiller.
It's so hard though that you, like, people from the outside looking in, it's kind of easy to judge and just say, oh, why you doing that? They just done. Well, you just stop, whatever.
Yeah.
But like I grew up in a family that had a lot of drug abuse in it.
Yeah.
And I was the person that just thought they was stupid, they was dumb. Why? And then I recognized that it's not as easy. It's not that simple to just stop. Like they struggle, and in your head you want to know, like, do you want to stop or do you want to be on drugs? You know what I'm saying? What gives you enough strength to turn your life around? And sometimes they try and then it don't work, and then they try again and it don't work. Like I'm a nurse, I worked in drug and alcohol, and I see people recycle in and out of the service, coming back and forth. And you know, I be rooting for them, they doing good, and then it's some of you like, oh, I know they coming back soon as they discharge. It's cool, they be right back. I be looking at them like, they be like, what's up? I'm like, ain't no what's up, I'm pissed off at you.
Like, why you
back here? And they like, oh no,
life be life,
such whatever.
So I have a question. Understanding mental health, understanding drug abuse, and with not talking to your mom this whole time, she's coming up for parole, and you're able to give victim impact statements. Did you think about what you would say? Do you want her to come home so you can get these questions answered, or? That's
a question that everybody always asks me. It's like, the answer to that is like, it's like a question, and they say don't answer a question with a question. It's like, does she want to come home? Like, she been locked up for 20-something years. Like, she hasn't seen this outside for that long. The world changed 15 times already.
Yeah.
Who's to say she can come home and live this and be able to be normal or
back into this life?
You said something about that they did a story on her because she turned her life around. Like in jail, she
she supposedly got baptized and became a Christian. But then
so that means
I didn't heard stories after that.
I was about to say, because how do you feel about that? You said she supposedly got baptized, so
right. Because
but baptized don't mean
it doesn't mean you're a huge different person. Like it's still a work in progress. Every day is a work in progress. You was baptized when you was a baby, and then you still smoke crack. You smoke crack, don't you? I done baptized. I done baptized like 6 times, y'all, and I'm still not right. I'm still striving every day for perfection.
So,
but I'm never going to be perfect.
Like what you heard that she did to change her life. Like, and I mean, to have sit down that long, I'm sure she had a lot of time to reflect and to think about. And then now she's clean. So you know what I'm saying? Well, hopefully she's clean because there's drugs in this jail. But I'm more than likely she probably is clean. So to have a sane mind, a clean mind versus a mind that's filled with drugs and disease and chaos and craziness, she probably is in a place of more clarity. And to me, she would probably feel regret and sorrow. But you said that you reached out to her and she didn't respond. To you, was that kind of like a slap in the face? Or like, how do you feel about reaching out to your mom just to get some type of
closure,
something,
answers,
not even closure, because there's really no closure to that, but something like I'm sure you sent her a letter with a question, and then for her to just say no. I mean, and I ain't saying she said no, but you said she didn't respond. How do you feel?
It's just like, damn, I was that bad of a person.
You think it's your fault thing?
I'm not saying it's my fault, but it's like,
you think she wasn't ready to take accountability? Because that's what I feel. Yeah. I think that she is not in the place that she take accountability.
But it goes back to answer the question of, it's like I said, does she want to come home? Like, and if she do come home, who would say she want to talk to me? Who would say she won't even sit down with me to even have a conversation with me?
But you want to.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to reach out initially. If ever she, let's say, halfway house, I'm going to reach out to her, and tell her I reached out, tell her I said, what's up? You got my number. She don't reach out to me. I'm not reaching back out to her. I don't want anybody to be like, yo, you want your nails done? I'm coming grab you. It ain't gonna be nothing like that. It's gonna be yo.
It's not.
Has she reached out to your siblings?
I think like my oldest sisters have been in contact with her like previous.
Your oldest siblings? Yeah. She reached back out with them, back out to them.
Maybe when it was younger, but I don't like early years, but not. I don't think recently. No.
Mm-hmm. So we gonna kind of go back a little bit. You went through the trauma, you got adopted, you had a good life, you had good people, and then you
said what kind of hit me, like, so no, but it's a question with mama. You said well, how did my life change? Or like I said, being a teen and just when I was out, being around my friends, I think, like I said, when
life just started,
my dad, my mom, they were shielding us because they felt like we went through that trauma. They didn't want us to go through any more trauma. They want us to, put us on a straight and narrow path. But
you wanted to see what the other life was like.
I wanted to see why y'all shielding us. Why we can't go outside? Why I can't go do this? And then, like I said, I was the oldest. And then, me being the oldest in the house, I have, looking up to me, just like, all right, we out.
They didn't have any other children other than y'all? Okay. They just adopted y'all.
And your experience, like, so.
What's your mom name? I want to give her a shout out. And I want to say sorry for the passing of your dad.
Haley.
Just read.
What is it?
Sybil.
Shout out to Sybil.
Shout out to Miss Sybil.
It's like a special person to raise foster kids. That's what I was about to say. Like, Toy is a foster parent. I grew up in a household with my mother and my father being foster parents, and my grandmom always had foster children as well. So, like, on both sides, we can, pretty much relate. And it definitely takes someone special to, take someone else's child in.
No,
how do you feel like your your parents, your mom and your dad, like, how do you feel like they shaped you as far as how you?
So they told you the right thing to do. You chose to do. I mean, because we all do.
Like, I always say, like, I was raised
right.
Right. Like, they.
So do you blame? Look, this ain't got nothing to do with you, but would you think that anything that you chose to do in your life, even though your parents told you all the right things to do, and you choose to do, because we all did it. I mean, I don't know how many times your mom said, "Don't go here," whatever, and you did it. Do you feel like it would be your parents' fault for the decisions that you made?
No.
The accountability is knowing that, like, you chose to do the thing.
Yeah, everything's on me. Ain't nothing on them. Even me going through what I went through, I still kept what they taught me. I still be, respectful of people.
You just did something.
It was just the basic that they taught me. I still kept that. Even though I'm in the streets, I didn't lose it because I'm gangster. I'm hard. I still was respectful.
You a gangster? Nah.
He said, "I tried." So
when you went to jail, how much time did you do? Like, it was little short bids, or you did?
My whole entire life, I did 10 years. Not one time.
Not straight, but
no.
So what did you learn from those lessons? Yeah, like
nothing, right?
I've been out since 2018.
Good.
That's 22.
That's a blessing.
21. I might get it messed up.
Somewhere.
I said it because my son.
My
son was born the day before I walked off parole.
Oh, that's what's up.
My son that Tuesday, I walked off parole the next day.
That's what's.
Which time?
Pharmacist.
You did state time or fed time? State.
First time I was in jail, they said I robbed somebody.
Allegedly.
No.
You said they said it.
They said I robbed, and it's crazy because if I tell somebody the story that did like these pills or Zane, like, bro, you did it. I really did not rob these people at Children's Shelton for no $10 and no cigarettes.
$10.
Right. They found more than that on me when they booked me, so there wasn't even that.
So you got arrested for robbing somebody
and then
Children's Shelton, but
I beat the case. I ended up beating it.
They think we all look alike.
So thanks. So back to your question. Like somebody asked me about like my mom and dad.
I did. I asked you how they shaped your life.
I think, but you asked me about like wherever we go. Like my mom and dad, I don't blame them. They taught me everything. Like at the funeral,
the right thing.
When my dad passed away, I thank them. Like y'all gave us a second chance at life. Yeah, I went to jail, but we talking about like I was at the lowest point of our lives, and y'all came and.
Yeah.
Not just 3 of us. We talking about 6 of us. 2 different families at that. Bring us together as one and adopted us. Like, y'all was already living your perfect life and married and doing y'all. So for y'all to come and take us and raise us and not have a handbook saying this is how you raise kids and
and they didn't have any kids.
Y'all did.
That's amazing.
Y'all did what y'all did with all 6 of us. Yeah, it's just
so even when you like went to jail,
passed away.
Yeah, my dad passed away a month ago.
Your foster dad?
My foster dad, right.
His dad. So
that's adopted dad. Once they adopt you, that's your daddy.
Yeah, that's your dad.
That's my father.
Yeah, that's all you know is
hard
that.
though, because sometimes, like, it's not that I forget that she's adopted, but like when I say I'll be like, I had 2 kids, then I'll be like, oh, and then I got to look like, and it's because in my brain I think about the children I birthed first, and then I remember like, but I had her 7, 8 years now. Lily about to be 13. I mean, Lily is 13. So she's definitely my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love her no less. Like, I do anything in the world. Like, she's handicapped. She can't do anything for herself. I have to literally do everything for her. But in my brain, like, I do separate her sometimes from, like, my biological kids, and then I always say, "Oh yeah," and then I adopted Lily. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's because you birthed the other kids. But we all know that Lily
my baby. Everybody know Lil. Everybody know this.
She adopted too, right?
Brooklyn ain't adopted. Stop trying to play with my goddaughter.
No, I seen Brooklyn come out. Look, I was there when Brooklyn was conceived. I was there when Brooklyn started growing in the belly.
But your parents, so was they still supportive to you when you were locked up?
I was about to say, so when I first got locked up my first time, so every time, so I became homeless / they were kicking me out / running away. I was homeless, living in living gardens, just just running around, nobody, just not going to school, got kicked out of school, all that, right?
What you want to do?
No, well, my dad came and took me out of school because, again, he's a principal at
Benjamin Franklin.
No. Well, at that time at Fells. He was at Fells, so he's the principal at Fells. He's like, you ain't about to come. My last name is Money. Like, you ain't about to come. I'm gonna come up here, take you out of school myself, and you gonna do what you gonna do. So every time, but my first time I locked up, I never called my mom and dad. They just found me. My mom sent me some money. They bailed me out.
Wow.
My PD I had turned to they paid him, became my lawyer. I beat the case. Boom. Leave there, I'm back in the streets, run around. I forget about them.
So they irritated with
scare
you. They irritated that you still keep doing
time.
stuff. But
I'm back in the streets. No, was it the first time? Yeah, right. Boom. So then the second time I got booked in Montgomery County, they was there, found me. My mom sent me some money, just write me every now and again. Right back outside.
Did you have bail?
No, not that time. I'm Montgomery County.
Did they ever
the county, they don't play.
They bailed you out.
You do some mess out here, they be like, like, you got these.
They never gave up on you ever.
Boom, right. So boom, I got booked.
That's love.
When I was out Bloomsburg University doing what I was doing out there, got booked.
You was going to college or you was just out there?
I had a family member that got booked at Bloomsburg University.
You was getting money out there.
Yeah.
I got it. I get it. The colleges is where that money at. Like, definitely.
I was getting money. Like, we was getting money.
They getting the money out there. I got you.
Now I found me. Just got booked again out there 5 months later.
She like, look now.
Bloomsburg ain't playing.
But this last time, like, oh yeah, I'm cool. Like, I see that, like, like when you outside running around, you got your friends, your homies. You keep getting booked. Your homies not really your homies.
Yeah,
like,
you learn when they get locked up. You figure it out.
Like, I can still do what I want to do, but I ain't gotta be outside all the time.
Yeah.
Let me go get a job. I can still do what I'm doing with the girls, still get money, and still.
Yeah, that's growth and it's maturity.
Yeah.
But
you 30-something years old. How old you said I was? 60.
my fault.
He told her she was 60 years old, y'all.
He was like, you like my mom. You like my mom age. He was like, you like my mom age, like 60. I said 60. That's wild.
And then he was on live with it, y'all. He said it on live.
Hey, Miss Parker.
When you gonna have it? Miss Parker.
Miss Parker was old, but Miss Parker did look good. Like,
was Miss Parker 60 then?
Yeah, she was
about 60.
Was she that old?
She was like
Nah,
60. She was like 40.
40.
Yeah, that was in the 40s.
Good 40.
Yeah.
No, because they wasn't that. How old was?
That was like 20, so she was like 40.
Yeah, that could have been. Yeah, about 45.
Yeah, Miss Parker.
That's wild.
Yeah. So how has your childhood shaped you as a father?
It's a good question. Somebody asked me that. Somebody asked me a similar question. Like, does my past affect me being a father? And no, it doesn't. Like me going through what I went through as a kid doesn't, because I got adopted to a good family, and that family showed me how to love.
So the trauma that you went through, you don't feel like it doesn't make you feel like you have to do the right thing because you got out of that and came into a family that.
The only way it keeps me from just don't get angry, because I know, like, when you get angry, you might do anything. So if I get angry, I just gotta remember, like, all right, he's 3.
Yeah.
he's growing.
You think?
Yeah.
All right, yo, get over here real quick. I'm saying like so.
But just like you said, the story that touched you was looking at those children that was left at home. Like, so that touched it brought back something in you.
Yeah.
That you probably didn't. I mean, of course, it's always in you. Right? You're never going to not have that in you. Like,
you like people still go through this.
But like you said, to see that story and to recognize like this, you don't know what their story is, but just the fact that they showed the house and the disarray and the kids by themselves, and the house is crazy and nobody's there. It just puts you to a place of knowing like, wow, this is something that's still
going on.
It's happening. And that wasn't just happened to you 28 years ago. And it's very unfortunate because it's going on even more and more and more and more and more. I just literally seen a Instagram thing where a little girl was left with, so her dad was had her. He left him with his girlfriend, left her with his girlfriend. The girlfriend had mental health issues, had just got released from a mental health thing.
I think I just read that on the way here.
And killed the little girl.
Yeah, I just read that on the way here.
Killed her. They didn't know she was crazy, didn't know nothing. Like, the mom didn't even know that he had a girlfriend. And after, like, when people came, like, her things was like, yo, you was gonna learn, you was gonna feel what I went through. Like, that's sick. To think, like, what, I don't know. And to me, the only thing that will make you do something to that extent is two things: true mental health issues and the fucking devil.
Yeah. And that's all the same.
And to be in a place where that's what you would do to an innocent child because you and your sister were innocent. Your siblings, that whatever they were going through that wasn't in the basement with you, like you said, everybody was mistreated. Like, y'all were innocent, and there shouldn't be anything y'all should have experienced. Just like you said, you know that your son, if he do something, you don't take it personal. You recognize like he's a baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? All right, he touched something, you say don't touch it, whatever. You know, you might time out. You're not going to lock him in a room. You're not going to mistreat him because you know better. But like people that do that, it's like, to me, you really have some real mental health serious, I mean, substance abuse, all kinds of shit. Well, you the damn devil. Yeah. And that girl that killed that baby, she was the devil. I mean, no, she had mental health issues too, but
and it was somebody else on Instagram going viral this week. It was a woman that dropped her stepson off at daycare and like kicked him in the door. Did y'all see that?
Oh yeah,
kicked the poor baby in the door.
In the daycare.
Yeah,
and like, said that he felt like, no. First of all, she threw him.
Yeah, threw him in the door.
She threw him in the door, then kicked him.
And they say she was trying to stop him from slamming his arm in the door. I'd rather him had his arm slamming the door. How about that?
No, she didn't do that. You can clearly see that. It was real bad. It's so sad.
But no, I mean, so now like my mom and dad taught us like that's growing up in a two household. My mom and dad, they married for 18 years. Them working together. Them don't have kids of their own, but raising us. So now I raised like 6 of us, right? My siblings. So now we all have FaceTime. We repeat the same stuff that my mom and dad say to us, like the little sayings, the little things they did to us. We do to our kids.
Yes, exactly. I love that moment. You can remember that moment. Like our work was not in vain.
So my mom, right? So my mom used to tell us like, "No, you hungry? I don't want that. You ain't hungry then.
Eat then. If you ain't gonna eat this, you ain't eating."
Listen,
right? So my son,
this ain't a restaurant. Like you can taking your orders and everything.
So my son, right? He had dropped some food on the floor on purpose, though. I mean, it wasn't like
so he ain't have to eat it.
No, just being smart. Like, you know how kids do, they get bad and just like being me.
And I didn't give him nothing else. I said, "You're not hungry," and he just went. He cried himself to sleep. Like, bro, like this is not.
I told you
gonna try you. You know the difference from being
like, you know, he literally looked at me
like somebody giving you food. You don't even understand the story I've been through.
Like, he looked at me.
Are you gonna tell him your story when you get old enough?
I mean, he seen me on.
He
seen me on YouTube.
TikTok.
I don't know. I'm not putting on my He was only like 1 or 2. He's like, "Is that daddy?" But I would let him meet my mom, just to meet him one time, just so he can see who she is. So when I do tell him the story,
he can put a face to the name.
You married?
No.
You got a girl?
complicated. You know how that go.
Yeah, for sure. So if you can tell your mom one thing, right? If you knew she was going to see this episode, what would you say to her? Take your time.
It's nothing I can say. Just a why. Questions why.
Why?
It's just a why. Like, it's why you do this. Everything is a why. It's a
you got
big,
a lot of questions.
big WHY.
Got it.
Like,
You
That's
said that
fair.
you did forgive her,
I'm sure.
but you're never going to forget. And you don't think the forgiving was for you, not for her.
I always tell people, when you forgive somebody, it's always for you. It's not
Yeah.
for that person. Because you want to heal for yourself.
That's
You
so
got to get
true.
through that. You don't, I can argue with my man today, yo, bro. Tomorrow I'm going to call, I apologize, bro. I don't care how you feel.
Regardless if they accept it or not,
You
you're
did
going
that
to clear your
for you.
conscience and
I
make
need
your
to make
conscience
sure for
look
me,
good.
I need to
Yeah.
start healing. And we are getting older. I know somebody that died off of stress in jail. He
Yeah.
died off of stress, not
Stress will take you
stress.
out.
So me learn, like, I gotta just let things go and keep pushing. Like, I can't just keep. You can't.
That's
Positive
a
mindset.
that's a
That's
good
good.
advice though, because a lot of people
Stress will
don't know
eat you
how.
alive.
I know a lot of people that's not good with forgiving. They
Yeah.
really
Even
hold
like you
on
got
to
best
things.
friends,
It
got
eats
people-
you up.
You're like, no, listen. I
That's
tell
the
people
heavy
like,
spirit.
I lost my pop. If you got your pop or mom that you gang warring with, and you don't, just call them, tell them you apologize,
Message.
you love them, keep pushing.
No, that's real.
That's a
No, that's
message.
true because
Life is too
when
short.
people die and you're not in a good place with them, you suffer. You go through a lot
Yeah,
of guilt.
yeah.
You go through a lot of things of damn. What could I do? Like, and that's one thing I say. I'm so blessed that me and my son was great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a bit of guilt. I don't feel no
Not
type
talking
of
about my pop.
like.
Yeah.
Is our relationship was so solid. We were so thorough. Like, I just miss him. Like, I don't feel like. Everybody, I don't feel like, oh, I should have did this or I could have did this better, whatever. I was a young mom. I did the best I could, and he loved me for me being me, for every
Yeah.
single thing I did for him.
supporting
So you know what I'm saying? Like, so as far as he's concerned, I was the best mom ever in the world.
course.
Like, he gonna tell you all day long, my mom is this, my mom is
That's
that.
not for
So
my mom, too.
exactly. So
And that's
that
a
makes
good
me
thing.
feel like I don't have no regret about his death.
Right.
I just have sorrow that he's not here. That's about it.
Now, me on the other hand, you know, my situation when my dad passed, you know, my dad was my best friend. And when he passed, you know, we wasn't on the best terms. And we have never in our life not been on the best terms. That second, that moment, like, that led him to commit suicide, that last conversation we had could have went way different. And I would have healed a lot better. I know in my heart I would have healed a lot better. But what led up to it to me was so minimum, but to him it was so major, you know?
Yeah.
So the last conversation I had, like, he texted my siblings, was like, I'm going to sleep, good night. I didn't know he was going to, you know, do it would happen. I didn't know that was going to happen. But, you know, I was there for his last moments. I was there to see him go on ambulance and everything like that. So, like, the healing process with me was real rough. So I think, you know, I know it was based on the last conversation me and my dad had. I didn't clear my conscience. It was just like, yeah, you're drunk, leave me alone right now. Instead of, like, really taking his feelings into consideration of how he felt at that moment. So that made my mourning process a little bit longer. And, you know, once I got back into my normal mindset and I prayed to God and asked him to forgive me and search my heart and make sense of some things that happened, it started my healing process. Now, it's been 13 years, so I'm still healing, but, you know, with your dad, it's going to be a long process. Like,
yeah, grief is,
it's a
I
lot.
haven't even grief, honestly, Devin, like that. Like, I go through times of, you know, being super, super sad. Sometimes it's just moments of sadness and then I'm regular, but I haven't even removed. I really think I'm going to be committing to the Friends or something.
You're not.
And
You're not.
I really do believe it.
You're not.
And I just ain't got time. I got to make sure Lily got a place to go. I got to make sure the bills pay. Like, so, you know, you
better not go speak
you
that
always
into
feel like you got
existence,
things
girl.
to do, but you can't do them. So you got to make sure everything is in order first.
For sure.
Like,
Especially as a mom.
yeah, I can't even check myself into the goddamn crazy house because I got
You
shit
got to wait till
going
you
on.
got time available.
What would you tell Cheese if you could tell him a couple words right now?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
real brief. I know you would have.
If I could tell him something or just,
I love you.
Definitely, I love you. I tell you, I love you. Oh my God, why would you ask me that?
say.
I don't know. His birthday coming up.
You know he's saying, Mom, I know you're gonna do it big. I know you're gonna do it big. She had parties for cheese like every year.
Yeah.
And the rug say cheese, the paper towels, the fork said cheese.
It
Like, I'm
did
eating
not.
the fork.
He's lying. Do not say that. But I think
She go all out.
That's what's up, though.
I think if I could say anything to him, I would.
Tissue.
I'd be mad at him. Like, cause he